Let's go on a walk together. The other day, my arm was hurting. My my left arm, the whole thing, all the way up. It was like all the way up from the back of my head down to my hand. It's like just pain, throbbing. It'd been like that for like 3 or 4 days. It sucked. It sucked. And so yesterday, I remembered. I totally forgot about this. So I had just gotten a new watch I'm wearing right now. I got a new watch on Monday, this past Monday, and I put it on, and apparently I just put it on too tight, and it pinched a nerve, and I didn't even realize it for like 3 or 4 days. I'm in pain. My arm is in pain all week long, and it was just because I was wearing my watch too tight. So yesterday I took off my watch, and my arm went back to being normal and not hurting, and now I'm, obviously holding up the camera and everything. It doesn't hurt even a little. So that's a tip for you. If your arm is hurting for some reason, maybe check and see if you're wearing a watch or bracelet or something, if it's a little too tight. It doesn't feel good. Anyway, how you guys doing? I've been doing good this week. I was watching a video earlier today from Alan Alda. If any of you remember him, he's an actor, he's an author. He played in MASH decades ago. He's a legend, right? And he was talking about storytelling. And he was saying that telling a good story is more important than giving good information. So, you've got an option, right? If you know something, you can just say the facts. You can just share the exact facts. And some people might get it, they might be down for it. But if you can tell a story with it, then it creates a different kind of memory, and it sits longer with people, and it can be more impactful, right? They can get the lesson that you're talking about. He gave this great example, and again, I'm going to link this video down in the description so you can see directly from him. But he was talking about how he had a glass of water, and he would ask somebody from the audience to come up and carry this glass of water. It was filled to the brim from one side of the stage to the other. And when he told them to do that, they would do it, and he said, you can't let any drops of water fall out. And they would do it, and there'd be water that would splash out and everything, and it was fine, it was a good time, but people laughing, whatever. So then he did it again. He asked a different person to come up on stage, and he gave him the same exact glass of water, full all the way up to the rim, and he said, I need you to carry this from this side of the stage to the other. But this time, if you let one single drop of water fall out of that glass, your entire village will die. And suddenly, you could hear a pin drop in the audience. People were so captivated. There was no village, right? It was just a story, but it gave people something to latch onto, to take something that was totally insignificant, carrying a glass of water, and turn it into something meaningful. And it made me also think about, I'm a big believer that we are all free to fail. That's kind of my motto. I want to get a tattoo one day of it. I'm free to fail. It's, think about that. What does that mean, that I am free to fail? I think it means a lot. And it's probably why I don't like the idea of getting an edit button on Twitter. When we make mistakes, it's okay. We can own them, right? And like I was saying last week, sometimes we believe things, we have convictions about things that we just need to own. And if we aren't entirely sure if they're right or not, even if it's possibly a mistake, possibly wrong, just got to own it, because if that's what we believe in, we got to own it. It's the same with mistakes for me. If I make a mistake, I own it. I made that mistake, and it's okay, and I can take the next step and learn, and I can apologize. I did not meet in real life a lesbian. until I was in college. I mean, maybe I met a homosexual, gay or lesbian or bisexual, somebody before that, but I don't know. But I do know that the first time I remember meeting a lesbian was in college. And it was funny because there was this girl that I was really interested in at the time. And she asked me, she said, "Tim, would you mind driving me and my friend Maya down to Kentucky? We're going to drop her off at her girlfriend's." And I was super duper evangelical, charismatic Christian at the time. And I was like, yes, but I was conflicted. I was so conflicted because it was like, wait, but I really like this girl, but like, do I want to take her friend to go see her girlfriend? Do I want to do that? I don't know. Like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because, you know, I like this girl. So we drove down there. Me, the woman that I liked, who was interested in, her friend Maya, and another guy named Justin. We brought him along too. He was just another friend. And we went down there. We drove down there. We had a good time, pretty much. There's some crazy stuff that happened. Like I got food poisoning. That was awesome. Also ended up accidentally driving my car into a ditch. It got wrapped in barbed wire. I had poison ivy all over my body. So came back, complete success, awesome. So that's kind of how things went. But the long story short is, like, now I think back on that, I'm like, well, first of all, it was crazy, right? That whole event, I was trying to impress a girl, ended up with my car being damaged, wrapped in barbed wire, myself being covered in poison ivy, and with food poisoning. So like, not great. But also, it was my first experience with a lesbian, and I didn't know anything about it up until that point. I was totally ignorant, and I was pretty rude. I wasn't rude to her at that time, but it opened my eyes. When I was in church or when I was in private, I would definitely be rude and judgmental. And I'm so grateful that even at an older age, I think I might have been 19 or 20 years old, even like an adult, I was making mistakes. I was being stupid, right? Foolish and being judgmental of others. And I'm glad that I could learn from that and learn from my mistakes and grow and become a human being who appreciates and loves and accepts everybody, right? Well, almost everybody. I don't like, racists or people like that, or J.K. Rowling. Anyway, the point is, owning our mistakes, accepting that we make mistakes, and then turning it into a story. Because trials and mistakes and challenges and hurdles, that turns into growth. And it turns into a story that we can tell, which is impactful not only for us, but maybe for the people who are listening as well. It allows us to show vulnerability. It allows us to show that we are human. We're not just YouTubers. We're not just live streamers. We're not just content creators with perfect photos and, Instagram traveling the world. Here's my best life being shown to you and no mistakes ever. But it allows us to actually connect, which is awesome. So, I don't know. I like mistakes. I like failing. I like being free to fail. And I like people who feel that same way about themselves. It's okay to change, evolve, and grow, make mistakes over time. It makes you more real, more genuine, and that makes you awesome. So, anyway, that's just been on my mind. Go check out the video from Alan Alda down in the description. I'll see you guys around. Peace.